Hello, everybody. I'm Tika.
And I'm Tim. Welcome to Two Sides to One Coin. We missed you.
I know, best friend, it's been a minute.
It has, but it's okay. It's February. It's the month of love. We got a couple good topics. We got some good debates.
Mhm.
I'm ready. You ready? I believe the first one is a post I posted.
Yes, the post you posted. That was a good post, though. I might add, before we even get started, I might add and say that was a very good post.
Thank you. Thank you. I did what I could in these streets.
Right, and it got some people talking. I think more women than men, but it got some people talking. So I'm gonna read it. It wasn't technically your post or something you thought.
I just shared it. I said feedback, please.
Right. So let's see. Let's get into it.
Go for it.
It says, I remember a female friend of mine told me, Marcus, I'm tired of being the nigga in my relationship. I want to be able to just be a woman for once. In that moment, I realized what I had been admiring as strength was actually a burden to her. Then I thought about my mom and all of the women I knew exhibiting this strength.
Hmm.
And I wondered if they felt the same. It seems like the independent woman thing is more of a self defense mechanism because women don't really feel safe with us anymore. But it's such a good defense that we bought into it.
Mm, yeah.
So, with you posting it, why?
Yeah, I felt every single word of that. Um, as a black man, as a man who has sisters, as a man who has a lot of female friends, um, it was heartbreaking. It was fucking like shit. I gotta post this. Let me see what the feedback gonna be. Um, because for me, it rang too true, and I was wanting to see how many people either related or didn't. Um, but on the other end, as a man, I was just like, dang, is this true? How do y'all feel? Tell me about it. And the response was split down the middle. But with that being said, what did you think about it? Because you were one of the ones who posted a good opinion.
Well,
Here it comes.
you know what? I'm a woman and I get the whole independent, strong thing, but I prefer to be independent and strong within my life. There are certain burdens that I'm willing to carry because I don't feel that my man should have to carry all of them by themselves, but it's also burdens that I don't want to carry and he doesn't allow me to. But in
Right.
that same sense, I feel like, sis, you gotta pick.
You gotta pick a struggle.
Yeah, you do. You either going to let a man lead you. Sometimes women can be overpowering in that aspect. Oh, I ain't needed no guy this long, and you're not about to tell me, and blah 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 blah. So you're either gonna be that, and he hands over everything to you. Take it, because that's what you wanted. Or you're gonna be more submissive, more gentle, more soft. You
So
have
what
to.
I heard a lot of women say they're tired of being open and getting screwed over, or they're tired of being misused or taken advantage of. And for me, I also hear I'm kind of over the bashing of. It was kind of interesting to hear, but it was also like you put it. It was a choice. Like, dang, but didn't you stay that long? Like, you could have given somebody else the chance. You left a while ago. Are women living in this is me pointing my fingers in the distance. Are women living in what's the word? Help me, best friend.
Potential.
Thank you. Are women living in potential? And so they get caught up in the potential that could be that they allow uh, the fuckery. Yeah.
You know what? I think that everybody has potential though, but I think there's a made up side of potential and then there's potential.
Okay.
Like for instance, you get into a relationship, this man ain't been doing nothing since you stepped into it. But you're like, oh, I think I can change him. Oh, I think he could be better. Oh, I think I can do this. I think I can do that. I think that's the potential you put on your damn self because you're about to become a fucking genie. So you get what I'm like? What did he display to make you be like, oh, he has the potential to be a husband or he has a potential of like everybody has a potential, but there's a difference between a potential that you pretty much cultivate in your own head that wasn't shown to you from the get-go. And then there's a potential that somebody is showing you.
Right.
Yeah, I'm showing you want to be a husband. Yes, I might fuck up on the way, but it's trial and error because nobody is perfect. Hey, I'm showing you I want to be a wife. I'm showing you this. I'm showing you I want my career to be better. You get what I'm saying? But it's the difference between a person showing you their potential and you making that shit up and up.
You in here seeing Superman and Clark Kent ain't even a farmer. He just out here.
And he ain't even showing you a little bit of cake. So what the fuck is you saying? You know, like, where did he come from?
Not Nan Red Boot.
Not nothing. You know, so I think everybody get into situations based off potential. You don't ever want to be with anybody that's not going to continue to grow and get respectful. People are supposed to grow. We're supposed to learn from past mistakes. We are supposed to learn from other people's mistakes.
Right.
And we're supposed to continuously evolve. So if you're not with someone that's showing you great potential every day of your life, no matter in what aspect it is, then why are you here? Who you growing with?
Let me tell you, I just read a quote and it said, well, it's from a movie too. There's nothing certain but death and taxes. But then for me, it was an extended conversation between two people. He said, death is definitely certain. He said, it's in the gray. Death is black and white. It's in the gray that we live. And I'm like, yeah, that was, yeah. It's crazy because we live in the potential that's in the future, and it's like, who are you now? Did you see the red flags? Did you see the was you being submissive to the wrong person? Is that your choice? Because the only person all your exes have in common is you. Like maybe you just like fuck boys. Maybe you just like whack chicks. Like maybe it's not them.
Or maybe you expand your horizon and you feel intimidated by what it is on the outside because that's not potentially your life. You know what I mean? Let's dumb it down a little bit. That's just like going straight from the hood, and I'm talking ghetto to a more suburban area where everybody know how to have some goddamn sense. You gonna feel a little bit out of your element a little bit because it's like, damn, this is a different type of I gotta act a certain way. I gotta move a certain way. You know what I'm saying? I think that everybody play these different hats along in their lives. Okay, I'm in a professional setting. I gotta move this way. Okay, but now I'm about to go hang out at the club with my girls or with my homies. Yeah, I can get a little ratchet. I can loosen up a little bit. Like, that's a different hat. You know what I'm saying? But people need to look at people for who they are.
Right.
And stop trying to act like people not showing you who they are.
And that's what I was going to ask you, too. Is it that people, women and men, are living in the fairy tale? Of something that's not really there, because it's like, oh, this, and this, and it's like, yeah, A, B, and C was cute, but X, Y, and Z look shitty. So you sure? You know, but you can't. It's interesting because you can't really fix nobody, and that's what I've been seeing a lot of. Like, well, he broken, or she this, and he that, and she that, and I'm like, but what are you working on? Like, because it can't be just them. They can't be that mean. Like,
and you know, and sometimes it can just be one person. Sometimes in a relationship, it can be one person that is fucking shit up. And it's like, what the hell? Like, in a relationship, it takes two people to make a relationship work. It takes two people to grow a relationship. You can't grow it by yourself and then your partner is way back here.
Right,
it won't work. You know what I mean? So, in my opinion, sometimes it can't just be one person that is really messing shit up, and the person that got it together, like, look, boo, I've been trying, But I can't stay through the bullshit. What's more, you know what I'm saying? If you can't ride with me and grow with me, then what the hell are we doing?
Right, right.
You know?
Wasting time.
But I think also too that so many people, and I'm gonna speak for women, no color related, but women, period. We get into this mood like, oh, I didn't took his bullshit all the time. I'm not gonna fucking leave. He gonna get with the next bitch and give her everything he should have been giving. Do you get what I'm saying? And now you stuck with bullshit because you just don't want to move on because you don't want him to give. You don't want his growth to be with the next bitch. How dare you, bitch? I taught you everything. Like you know, like for real.
Yeah. And so when you say that, I read this quote a couple weeks ago because it wasn't a quote, it was somebody posted it on Instagram. And it said basically what happens if you're with somebody for 7 to 10 years and you build them and then y'all break up and then within 6 months he or she's engaged or married. Like why are you so butthurt? And then it said people change for who they want to. People grow for who they want to grow with. Like you can't make nobody do nothing like, oh, I was with him or her for this long and this, and this. And it's like, yeah, but you mad that he got engaged 6 months later or she got married or pregnant a year later. And it's like, maybe it wasn't you. Maybe you need, people don't see the lesson and the blessing. They're like, oh, well, I did this. And it's like, yeah, but you stayed that long. That's not on, he or she had free therapy. He or she had free counseling. He or she had, it's not on them that they took it.
Right. They got a free fucking upgrade and then they gave that upgrade to somebody else and now you pissed off because you stayed around that long seeing all the bullshit.
Yeah, because in their mind, you're part of the old guard. You're AOL, and I need this new upgrade. I need this.
But that's almost like thinking about Beyonce's song "Ring the Alarm." Like that shit is true. Like I literally think like that. Like, bitch, no, I've been here since day one. You know what I'm saying? I made you look, smell, walk, talk the way that you doing, and I be damn if you gonna get the next bitch what I do.
But then upgrade you too. She was
the fuckery. You know, you're giving us all the fuckery just because we don't want the next chick to have better you.
When you may be missing the better him because you hold on to what you created, what you helped build.
Exactly.
Maybe you should high five your creation and send it on its way. You know, Frankenstein wasn't the monster; he was the doctor. So,
right. Send it on its way and hope it fuck up later. I hope you fucking malfunction. You fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like do that. But don't stay with it while it's malfunctioning with you and then you fucking repair it and it go be repaired with somebody else. Who does that? No. Absolutely not.
We are using the funniest metaphors I've ever had used before when it comes to relationships, and I'm fucking here for it. So I guess we can agree on the topic as well as the point that was made. Like, it's a choice. You can either choose to live in misery or choose to walk in peace.
Yeah, you can choose the more independent, the more I got this, boo, no, I got it. Or right. You can choose to be, nah, you the man, you got it.
Right.
And if you can't be for me, you're not the man for me.
And that doesn't have to be like both people can wash the dishes, both people can cook, both people can clean. Those are not gender roles, but you know what I mean? But submission comes in state of mind, not bowing down. And right. I think that's the misconception too. Like, I don't want to come home with her knees and ankles strapped and she on her knees with a plate of biscuits and gravy. Like, hey, master, you home?
I don't think that submission is just a thing. I think submission is a both parties thing. In a relationship, sometimes the man has to be submissive and be like, okay, you're right. You know?
But I think it's the words we use because submission is just giving the ebb and flow, allowing each other to be.
Right.
I'm weak when I'm strong, listen when I talk when I like, you know what I mean?
Right.
It has to be balanced. Ooh, that was a good word that came out.
Yeah. All relationships need balance, no matter what type of relationship is. I don't even think that people really realize how they submit in just friendship. You know what I mean? But then when you get with this man or you get with this woman and it becomes a more intimate relationship, it's like, he ain't finna tell me what to do. I ain't his fucking kid. You know? Or he looking at you like, bitch, I'm a grown ass man. You ain't finna. But yet when you with your homies or you with your homegirl, you'll submit without a problem. Or your homegirl, and you know, with us girls, we'll submit without a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like in every relationship, sometimes you're submitting, sometimes you're not. That's how it helps. It works. It gives it a balance. That's just not a thing for men and women. It happens in every relationship, and I don't. Most people see that it's happening, and they doing it all the time. Think about how many friends you would have if you was just an asshole and couldn't nobody even talk to you, or you a taker all the time, never a giver. Like you would be like, yo, damn self. You wouldn't have no friends.
I know. Ooh. Yes, you win, and we right, and I believe it is something that is changing the landscape because the conversation needs to be had.
Most definitely.
And so, cheers to that. High five.
Out there, if you feel like you are the guy in the relationship, make a better decision.
And guys, if you feel like you can't be vulnerable, make a better decision. If you feel like I can't tell her how I feel or what's on my mind, what my fears are, then that's not the right woman for you. Because if you feel like you're going to be judged or yelled at or scolded for being human, don't date a robot. Don't date one of them stop being a pussy type people.
True.
I like it. I'm with it.
With that being said, because you posted something else on Facebook.
Ooh,
Where he going with this? Where's this going? But this is strictly from you.
Yeah, this was from me.
And you posted, Black men get destroyed by Black women, but Black women swear Black men don't come to their defense when they do stupid shit. How about let's hold everyone accountable? Thanks. And I think I asked you and you did not reply. Destroy like how?
Okay. I'm gonna be honest.
We won't. We've been talking about authenticity. That's what we want. Be honest.
As a Black man, being 34, as a man, as a citizen of the planet, I hear more bad than good about what Black men has done to destroy the Black woman. And I was raised around women of color. I was raised around women. I have so many strong male and female Black influences. And I'm like, dang, are we really all that shitty? Are we really all that vacant, all that distant? Why does it have to be all on him? Me being a Black man, have dated women of color, have a mother who's Black, sisters who are Black, nieces and nephews. Like, so for me, it was like, dang, y'all are destroying us sometimes, and we do not come to y'all defense when we should. And I feel like it's a generational thing that I know I'm trying to break, but as a whole, that's why I posted what I posted, because I was like, this is what it feel like.
But this is the thing. So you're saying, I mean, am I getting confused on the word destroy? Like a belittlement or downput?
Belittlement, downment, as well as no upward. Now, this is not for every Black woman to a Black man, but this is the majority for what I feel. There's this innate downwardness. Like, when you hear a woman who's been broken by a man talking to her son, you ain't no good like your dad. I don't hear any of the I don't hear as much as the reverse as I hear that. Or all y'all lie, all y'all cheat. That's not something that I hear from Black men. I do hear from Black women quite a bit as a generalization, like all y'all do this, all y'all are that way, all y'all this. And it's like, dang, are we all that shitty?
So how would you think one would change the narrative? You know, as a Black man, how would you start to heal that? Because to me, it seems like it's some healing that needs to go on.
Yeah. And so for me, not to ruffle no feathers, shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. But I'm not like most black men. I'm what they call a unicorn who had sex with a Pegasus and produced this miracle that is thee. But with that being said, it is a call to arms because there is a lot of shitty black men out there. But there's a lot of shitty black women lately too. Like, I ain't never met so many ridiculously bad moms and ridiculously choices of the women of color that's like, dang, sis, this ain't on him. You got to look in the mirror on this one. As a man who listens a lot, as a man who hears a lot of this is reflection shit. And that's a hard pill to swallow because ain't no way I'm going to say it, but I'm saying it because can't nobody whoop this ass. It's more of a, maybe it ain't all on these men that you keep complaining about every 6 to 8 months.
Right. Because at the end of the day, women pick who they're going to give themselves to.
Why do we have to be, and this is something that I've been watching in the media as well since we brought it up, the destruction of black men is also kind of like the complete lack of empathy for black women in the media and in the news and stuff. It's almost like which is why at the end of the post that one of my close friends, Tahi, shared, I was like, I got to copy this. It said, why don't we hold each other accountable? Because yes, there are a lot of shitty black men out here who cheat and lie, who have daddy issues, who aren't emotionally there, who need therapists, who need me time, who need to shut the fuck up and sit down and hug somebody. But there is an equal amount of broken black women who have mommy and daddy issues, who don't know how to love, who don't know how to open their vulnerability up to accept a man who's trying to heal. So let's hold each other more accountable and stop being each other's catalysts or scratching posts. Ooh, scratching posts. I said that shit.
Right.
What do you think about it then? Because the post wasn't, the first line was black women destroying black men, but the next line is what black men do to black women. It led with the males' ignorance and followed it with the females' ignorance. How do you feel about the statement as a whole? You see I'm doing all this handography, like, if I was your girl. Okay, I'm back.
I think that it's a inner destruction. I don't think one is more destructive than the other.
It's a balance. It's a balanced destruction.
Equally destructive. And the only reason I say that is because I think as far as our culture, we are now starting to get into the, like the meditation for ourselves. We're just now getting into that, it's okay for me to say that I'm not okay.
Right.
We're just now getting into that therapy, because I can honestly say that I grew up in the era where people was like, you don't need fucking therapy. Like black people don't do therapy. You know what I'm saying?
If we're going to be real, I remember a conversation we had when I lived in Vegas, and I'm like, best friend, I'm about to go see a therapist. And your exact words was like, this was years ago. I think this was 15 years ago. You was like, what the fuck you going to see a therapist for? And I went, oh, wow. Not in a bad way, just I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah. So, like, to hear it now, I mean, it's starting to open up and shit like now. But back in the day, you had that whatever happened in this household, stay in this household. Quit crying, fuck it up, it'll be okay. Like that, like that type of shit. So I feel like in our culture, our black men and our black women is equally destructive too.
Yeah.
We never, even when you see these type of debates online and on Facebook, nobody ever really give a solution. It's almost like oh, well, y'all do this. Oh, y'all do that. Oh,
that's the problem. Stop pointing the finger.
You know what I mean? Instead of it being like, you know what? I think it will help black men if us women do a little bit more of this. Or I think it help us black women if men do a little bit more of that. Like nobody really has a solution. Everybody is just pointing the finger and trying to see who's the worst.
Which is that, and that is something that I like, not to self-plug, but especially the end of February and beginning of March, I'm doing a lot of events in Huntsville on bringing your couples, bringing your families to meditation, having a conversational vulnerability. I'm doing a lot of events on bringing the conversation up more. That makes sense. Get it out, best friend. Get it out. Breathe.
Right.
You know, so for me, it is more of this needs to be talked about, because the solution is in speaking about it and not pointing the finger at each other. But if we hold each other accountable, especially hold ourselves accountable, then it's like, do the work. Do the work and start to heal, because maybe it's not him. Maybe it's not her. Maybe you are broken. Maybe you are not shattered. Maybe you're not withered, but maybe you are broken. Maybe you do need to get something off your chest or see something differently.
Right, but it's easy for people to look outward rather than inward.
Yes, it's always hardest to look in our reflection.
It's always
Point out everybody else's flaws, but to look in the mirror is very difficult, which is why I think the conversation needs to be had with self first, but then definitely with other people that look like you, so it eases the burn of, because here's what's hard, best friend, realizing that maybe you the problem.
Yeah, of course.
You know, and
that leads to avoidance, you know, and because that leads to avoidance, that also leads it to passing down to the next generation. You know, you passing it down, and now your children mimicking that. You know, it's always harder to look inward than it is to look outward. You can pinpoint everybody's flaws.
To look in yourself and go, damn,
pinpoint your own flaws.
Right.
Just think that a lot of people can give a lot of people advice, and then you don't take your own fucking advice, and it's like, how did you say such a fucking smart thing, but you're doing something so fucking dumb? You know what I mean? Like, you just said something so smart. You just told something so smart, and now you are so fucking. How does that happen?
What the people don't know is that's something you say to me like on a yearly basis or a bi-yearly basis. Like every year or so, you say some amazing shit. You don't follow none of the shit you say with your dumb ass. Like, that's what the people don't know, that as my best friend, you're very open about, hey, Tim, you stepping in some fuckery territory. Would you like a map? Would you like a map? You're stepping into some shit you probably don't need to be doing. Do you hear me?
I think that's what makes us work, though, because we most definitely hold each other accountable.
Accountability.
We make each other see that, you know, because you can be like, girl, yeah, let's rewind so you can see and hear the book.
What you just said.
Right. And it's damn, that was kind of stupid. Or, you know, I was wrong as hell. I shouldn't have came at you like that. I apologize. You know what I'm saying? Like, people, if more people held each other accountable and really cared for the well-being of each other, it's just it's way too many like surface relationships. There's no deep, like really intimate, connected relationships. It's like the surface line, and nobody really finds out who their friends are or the people they're calling their friends. They really couldn't tell you shit about them.
And so as you say that, I was thinking about this a lot this year, because I know a lot of people, and we all know I know a lot of people. But then it hit me that I have a lot of peers. I have a ton of acquaintances. I have very few friends and even less tribe members. And that was what was the wake-up call, because, you know, there was a time around 25, 26 where I'm like, oh, best friend, I have so many friends. I have a lot of friends.
And I'm like,
you're like, that's not your friend. They just know you.
Right.
And now I'm at a place where I'm like, you're right. I know a lot of people. I have a lot of peers. I know a lot of acquaintances, but I have very few friends and even less family. And that's a good thing, because like you said, you know, in the first draft, a lot of people know me surface, but no one really asks me how I am. No one really inquires deeper, because a lot of people only need surface. How are you? Okay. Oh, okay. And keep going. Right. Or how was your day? It was good. Oh, and they keep going. But it's like, you know, I'm one of them people that's like, how was your day? And it was like, good. And it's like, I hate one word answers. Tell me more. What the fuck did you do today?
Right. Right.
You know, and that's for me, that's not just forcing them to tell me more. It's easy. It makes it easier for me to open up as well. Like, oh, that's what's up. Well, my day was shitty.
But you know, you literally is one of the people, but I am the opposite. You know what I'm saying? I will listen to get an answer. You know, hi, you know, how are you doing? Oh, I'm good. How are you? And then I will listen for the answer, but I'm not going to dig deeper into it because I just don't care. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, if you told me, oh, my day is shitty, I'd be like, oh, that's so sad. And I'm gonna keep it pushing, because I just don't care. Like, I'm not that type of person. I'm more of an introvert than anything else. Like, I don't know you, you don't know me. I'm saying the polite thing to say to you because we're walking past each other, but I really don't give a shit how your day is. But then when it comes to my friends,
you care. We need tough times.
I need that. Bitch, why are you telling me this is good? Okay, well, what was good about your day? Like, what? You don't want to talk to me today? What's the problem?
What's going on?
Why you don't want to talk to me? Hug me, love me. Like, that's with the people that are closest to me. You're very good with that. I want to show inner me to, like, just anybody. And I'm not so good with that.
And the only reason I do that, and this is such a cliche, I want to lead by example. If more people were vulnerable and honest, we wouldn't have these posts about being destroyed or being neglected or feeling less. If more of us were open about how we felt, like, how are you? Well, if we're on a scale from hug to sit in the corner and cry, I'm right in the middle of walking in purpose, or like for my kids that I teach, I have a board as soon as they walk into the dance studio. If today was a good day, here equals a hug. If today was an okay day, high five. If today was kind of bad, fist bump. If today was crappy, high five. Like, you know what I mean? Different handshake. Like, I gave them ways so I can gauge their day because children don't talk.
Right.
And I can't force them, even though I do try. Like, hey, Tim hate one-word answers. It don't work with the kids. And so I give them another way to express their emotions because this generation sees different. They have that access that. Can you imagine if we had that when we were growing up? If today was a good day, here you deserve a hug, or vice versa. If today was crappy, you want a hug. If today was okay, you know what I mean? We didn't have that shit. It was like, suck it up, or I'm gonna hit you.
Right.
In the face.
And I can't say that was technically my experience because I think that was awesome, but I know that to be the experience of a lot of the kids that I like.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ooh.
And that's the difference, because T-Boo and Big Dave love the fuck out of me. But I also see that as a generation. I'm like, dang, did y'all not learn from our parents' choices? Like, you don't want to tell your son or your daughter you love them? Or one girl, and this is my last point on the subject, one girl was so mad at her teenage daughter. And I'm like, maybe if you told your teenage daughter your high school experience, she wouldn't be so disconnected. Maybe she wouldn't seem so alone if she knew that you went through it as well. But you're telling her that it's okay, it'll get better, and helping a child that has no idea the forest from the trees. And it's almost that fear of, maybe you should talk to your daughter the way you wish your mother talked to you when you were in high school, when you were lost. Maybe you should talk to your son the way you wish your father.
But again, though, that's where you pinpoint the avoidance, because that's a person to look inward. Do you get what I'm saying? To go into your past and express something that may have tormented you or led you to have aspects about yourself that may not be quite desirable, and to talk about it with someone else so that they can relate and you can make them feel better. That's you being forced to look. And because you don't want to look inward, you avoid it altogether, not realizing that your experience could help someone else. Do you get what I'm saying?
I do, because you never know who you can heal by telling your truth, which is why I get back to the point of me being this butterfly of openness, like whatever you want to know, I'll tell you, because what if my story helps your story heal or have a better ending or have a better chapter? Like, because I'm already good from my history. Like, guess who already know that he had a crazy life and still here? So clearly, my choices were enough to say, hey, I learned from them. But we just have to learn how to be more vulnerable with that, And I think that's where I stand in holding each other accountable, if that makes sense.
So while we're talking about holding each other accountable, let's talk about Gayle King being a Black woman and, the question that she asked a Black woman who is, in my opinion, still grieving over a loss of a very beautiful friend to her,
Right.
How do you feel like, because I feel like when you talk about women destroying our Black men, for some odd reason that kind of like popped up in my head because
Clearly, we're going to be honest. For me, it was literally looking at the landscape of the planet through two Black women. Watching that interview, it was like I see the divide on the planet. These are strong Black women who support their friends and are very articulate and honest and loving and genuine. And then you have Black women who are self-hating in such a blatant way. It's sad, but it's also taught behavior. You
mm,
can tell. And so it's almost like instead of pitting a Black woman against a white man, let's pit Black women against Black women and see who agrees with who. And it was super hurtful to see because it brings me back that you bring it up. It was a news anchor who posted something a week after the interview, and I posted it on my Instagram, and it was 5 minutes long. And she said, "It's not that we're mad at Gayle King. We're hurt that Gayle and Oprah, these Black women of power and stature, are only going off after Black men. And when they go after Black men, there's no compassion behind it. There's no thought." Emmett Till was killed, and he didn't even get to live. And then 80 years later, the woman was like, "Oh, I lied."
mm-hmm.
So the whole planet convicted him. The whole country, all his friends, all his peers just knew he was a rapist and he deserved to die because she said he did it. And then most of those people are dead. And so a generation and a half went by, and then this woman goes, "I just lied." That for me, and this is honest, coming from a Black man who has heard rape in his ears before, has been like, yeah, but my friends believe me, so we know this is bullshit. But to the masses, the people around that thought differently, good, bad, or indifferent. My friends knew the truth. And
Right.
that's what was so hard to see that interview, because it was like, not only was he, like, there was no charges, but you're asking his friend not even 3 weeks after he died, like, maybe that wasn't the best way to ask. Maybe you shouldn't have asked. Maybe you should have waited to somebody else ask those questions. You're not being a good journalist. You're being kind of heartless. And
But not to cut you off, but a lot of people would say, I'm going to say that I do not disagree with you. I think that Gayle was on some bullshit, and that was not something that she should have brought up ever. But some people would say, "Oh, well, she's just doing her job. She's a journalist. Journalists is to speak the facts." So
you ready? Journalists, yes. Where was this journalism with Matt Lauer, Kevin Spacey, Harvey Weinstein? These are men that haven't had no time in the. Matt Lauer was NBC's golden boy for how many decades? Where is the exclusive interview when he was fired? Like, yes, even if Kobe did it, even if in another reality it happened, why are you not going after the men that have convictions under their name? Like Kevin Spacey was out here touching little boys. You know what I mean? Where's your candid interview with Kevin Spacey, who was on House of Cards, who was Lex Luthor, who Kevin Spacey is a legend? Why didn't you have a candid interview with him at his Malibu house? Why did you bring it up in an interview with Lisa Leslie? You feel me? And that's where you are right. But it's also, are you being a journalist, or are you allowing the media to pit us against us again in such a different way? Because you getting death threats, which is unnecessary, and Snoop Dogg calling you a
funky dog.
I'm not saying that I'm okay with that, but that made me laugh for too long to not be okay with it. So
I laughed at that so hard. You don't even know.
So yes, the death threats are too far because Gayle King is a human as well. Was she doing her job? No. Was she playing her part? Definitely, because the conversation got started, and I'm glad it went differently than I feel like the powers that be wanted it to go, because it did split down the middle at first, like kill Gayle King, we love Lisa Leslie, and then it went into maybe Gayle King just went about it differently, and Lisa Leslie was such a queen about it. Because, and that's what we keep forgetting. Not only did she lose her friend, a colleague, somebody they were inspired by each other, but they were both athletes at such a caliber that it was like, dang, maybe this should have been not a Black journalist interviewing a Black WNBA Hall of Famer talking about her friend who was also an NBA legend. Maybe that shouldn't have been the step.
You know, I would have to disagree with that, because I think that two Black women being portrayed, you know, through journalists and interviewing a Black woman is a great thing. However, I disagree with bringing up something that he wasn't convicted for.
And that's the gag. That's all I'm trying to say.
If he was convicted for it and he did time for it, and then he came out and still was able to go back to the NBA and was still able to become this, you know, the Kobe Bryant that we all know within the game. But that didn't happen. And that's my issue. The world is still trying to convict him and say, oh, he's a rapist and he's this and he's that. But nobody it's almost like the court system don't matter. So why even take someone to trial if even if they beat it and that trial says he did nothing, or it gets dismissed because the witness, you know, like, y'all stop convicting this man that wasn't charged for it.
But then this goes back to my post. It is even by hearsay, Emmett Till's reputation was destroyed. Bill Cosby's. We can name a lot of Black men who weren't really the five Central Park Five. Like we can assumption will get us life in prison, but assumption will only get parole or a slap on the wrist for others. Not even life in prison. Assumption will ruin our careers. Assumption will have us like, dang, we really didn't touch it, but shit, we should have, because now the whole world hates us.
Right.
For hearsay. Whereas we don't talk about the Matt Lauers, the Kevin Spacey's. Harvey Weinstein trial was here and gone, and no one brought it up. You know, Donald Trump is still the president of the United States.
Right.
And so that's what was hurtful as a Black man. Like, dang, they put these two Black women on national TV just for one to try to get under the other one's skin. You know, and that's what it felt like to me.
All about your integration, because we say that your job is going too far. No. I'm not answering that question. And if you got a goddamn problem with it, then I ain't doing the interview. You know,
that's the gag.
When do you like say when your profession has gone too far? Because I think that's a broad range thing for everybody. Everybody's profession can go too far. Whether it's, oh, I want you to work and you can't go be with your kids. And it's like, no, I'm not working. I'm a mother too. You know what I mean? So if you don't like it, fire me. You get what I'm saying? I think that everybody has to comes to that point where they say, no, you asking for too much and I'm not gonna.
And that's the choice. The choice in being part of the problem or being part of the solution, whether it tarnishes your career or hurts your image or not. I only say that to say what we're talking about brings up Joaquin Phoenix, who won, you know, both the BAFTAs and the Oscars for Best Actor and Joker. His speeches is what everybody's been talking about. And I'm thinking we need to stop looking not just into our own community for not help, but understanding, because both his speeches were like, yeah, we're part of the problem. We shouldn't keep asking Black people to help us with what we created, you know? And so it's almost like we don't need your help, but yes, we do. We need more people to understand that Gayle Kings and the girl from Clueless, these are people who are just okay with making money at the expense of the destruction of our people. And sometimes we do need the Gary Owens or the Joaquin Phoenixes to come forward and go, you know, the Chelsea Handlers, you know, she crazy as she is, she's been very adamant about it's not their problem, it's our problem that we created, that we forced. And so we need to talk about it, not them, you know. But we also need to do the healing, because I think Gayle King needs a hug. I think women and men like that need to be reassured that we love you. You did some dumb shit, but we love you.
Right. Right.
I said,
You know,
and I said love a lot because Valentine's Day, best friend. And I got one more question for you because I know we've been talking.
right.
Happy Valentine's Day on Friday. Yay.
Yay.
What is love to you? Like Mariah Carey, I want to know what love is.
Oh man.
Oh, man. Oh, boy. Oh.
I think love is a lot of things mixed all up into one. I think love is a feeling. It's most definitely an emotion. But I think what helps that emotion gather and grow is communication, similar things of interest, an understanding, a trust of a security. I don't think love is just one thing. I think it's just a bunch of stuff that rolls into a ball that forms that emotion, and then that emotion grows.
Okay.
And you,
Okay.
what do you think it is?
Well, listen, not to ride on the coattails of an amazing woman, but my best friend just rolled that into a nice ball and put a fucking bow on it. So, quite as it kept, what you just said, I think love is all that rolled into one. I'm a bitch, I'm a lover, I'm a slut. Wrong song, real bad choice of song, but all that rolled into one. Like the communication, the honest communication, and not just communication, the understanding, because I can communicate to you clear as day what I feel, how I feel, what I need. But if you don't understand it or receive it, I'm literally talking to a brick wall.
Right.
And so it's that balance of take and give, as well as openness, vulnerability, and that is love incarnate. When you put all the passion, compassion, when you put the components, the engine, the combustion, all that shit together, it makes a car, and you have to drive it. Ooh, that was good.
I don't think that sex equates to love.
You see, I didn't even bring up sex.
Yeah. I think that anybody that puts sex into loving someone needs to reevaluate that love.
That part, that's true, because we have to look at, what if one day neither body part works, or what if there's an accident? Then there has to be a
deeper connection that keeps you in love.
Like maybe y'all love the same author. Maybe holding hands is the stimulation you need. Maybe just holding each other deeply. Like people miss out on intimacy looking for ejaculation and orgasm. Ooh, that was good too. I'm just out here coming out the gym.
People need to realize that love emotion can make sex so much greater.
Yeah.
But sex don't equal love. I think that love can make mediocre sex be great, because there's that type of connection there that's, I will teach him what I like. I would, you know what I'm saying? If you don't love a person and you have sex with somebody that's like, you're like, you would never, never. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got time to teach you, man. You should have known.
But when there's that connection, you like, listen, don't just spit on me. Don't do that.
I don't want that.
Don't. And I'm one of these people, and don't scratch me without asking first. Like, bitch, what if I got sensitive skin?
Yeah, I think people should focus on love a little bit more. I don't think it's.
I want to know what love is. Oh, damn, I got a lot of teeth. Okay, yeah, you're right.
It would be nice if people focused on love a little bit more than lust, because lust is easy to come by.
Very true. Love is difficult. Love is hard. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love is divine. Blah blah blah.
And love is hurtful.
Yeah,
it really is. And I hate that saying "love don't hurt." Yes, that shit do. It hurts.
Love hurts.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think it's like where somebody's punching you in the face or shit like that. Like,
love shouldn't hurt like that.
But love can also hurt physically. Think about being heartbroken. Sometimes your body just like,
When you sit in that shower, curled up in the corner, and the water hitting your shoulders, and you in there shaking, crying, listening to Tania officially missing you. I mean, I don't know from example, but you know that's when you know love hurts. Yeah.
Love hurts. Love hurts. Love is disappointing. Love is peaceful. Love is positive. Love is sometimes negative.
Yes.
You know, love can bring you the most bliss. Sometimes love can bring you tragedy.
The balance of love.
Love is all those things. So when people say, "Oh, love shouldn't hurt," or "Love don't hurt," bullshit. Wait,
you ain't in love then. Ooh.
But like that, even the person that you are definitely in love with and cannot see yourself without, they're not gonna always coddle your feelings. Sometimes that person gonna say some shit that's like, and you gonna be like, well, how could you say that? Well, bitch, that's the way you made me feel. You know what I'm saying? Like love is not always beautiful, but in a sense, it's the most beautiful.
I think we should end there. That was a good way to end this Valentine's episode, this February, this love, this meaty love, this I wanna love you.
I know. So just to let you guys go out there in the world, me and Tim was trying to upload a video, whatever, every Tuesday. Life has been getting in the way. He got shit to do, I got shit to do. He got a whole life, I got a whole life. It's just been kind of getting in the way. So we are shooting for days every week. So make sure you stay tuned, hit your notifications, comment, all that jazz. Let us know what you think, feedback on what we're talking about, any feedback on what you might want to hear us talking about. But that shit might be interesting because if we ain't going to talk about, we're not going to even bring it up.
What she said, like, subscribe, tell us how you feel. We don't mind honest communication, but understand that we are both down for the fuckery. So if you have something out of pocket to say, come for it. I would love to hear people's opinions and feedbacks on our episodes. Go check all of our previous episodes on YouTube, Facebook. Let us know what you guys think. You know, we love y'all so much. Thank y'all for tuning in. I'm Tim.
And I'm Tika.
Bye.